Hello, guys. Good evening to all of you. Please tell me, sorry, good afternoon to all of you. Please tell me if my voice is coming properly or not. Let me check once. Hello, guys. Good evening to all of you. Please tell me, sorry, good afternoon to all of you. Please tell me if my voice is coming properly or not. Yes, things are fine. Okay, so we should start. So, fine. So, today, as you have seen the thumbnail, we are going to learn some 20 common English proverbs, which we usually or daily use in our daily life, right? These are commonly used proverbs. So if you don't know these proverbs, so today you will get to know about what are those proverbs and how do we use it. But simply, if I talk about what is the meaning of proverb, what is a proverb called? So basically, a proverb means something which tells about the truth and the wisdom of life. It talks about the experience that it basically comes from the experienced people. Like mostly, you will see only experienced people use these proverbs. Means the way they have seen the life and the way they expect the life that would be in the future. So that is what a proverb is basically, right? Like which is generally believed, right? That is a proverb. So when we will go through these proverbs, you will understand, right? So let's start. Okay. So our first proverb is, as you can see, action speaks louder than words. Action speaks louder than words means your deeds matter more than promises. Your deeds matter more than promises means you have seen many people, they you can say speak about, I will do this, I will do that, right? I will have a car, I will have so many bungalows, right? Even though they haven't achieved anything, right? They don't have any proper plan and they have not taken any initiative to execute those, but still they, you can say, blab about those, right? Still they boast about having those things in the future. That means what? If you are really capable or if you're really skilled about doing something, so you go and achieve it. First, you achieve it, right? Why are you just speaking and speaking and speaking, right? So there are some people who they only speak, but when it comes to doing an action, you will not see any, right? You will see always they are behind, right? So those who they always speak, they don't do anything, right? Just like most of the speakers, those who they want to learn English, right? So when they join any courses, so they always have these very ambitions that I will learn English, I will become very fluent in English. But when it comes to, you can say, making effort, right? What happens? You know very well, right? They just step back, right? So if you really want to learn something, or if you really want to achieve something, or if you think that there is a chance that you will meet your goal, so you just focus on your goal rather than, you can say, revealing this thing to the whole world before even you have achieved it, right? So actions speak louder than words means if you do something, right? Or if you really achieve something, so you don't need to speak, you don't need to tell everyone, right, about your skill. If you are really worthy, so your action will make the people realize that you are a worthy person, right? But if you're not worthy, you are just trying to make people convinced by your mere words, so this is not going to happen, right? It will not make you a worthy person. Action speaks louder than words means your deeds, whatever you do, that will define who are you rather than whatever you will speak, right? Mere promises won't help you. Next is a stitch in time saves nine. A stitch in time saves nine means fix early to avoid bigger problems. Fix early to avoid bigger problems. Like suppose now you are on a boat, right? And if you see a leakage is coming from the boat you are traveling by, so you have to fix that leakage. Otherwise, the hole will get bigger and eventually the boat will drown the sea, right? So if you have any problem or if you come across any problem, maybe it seems big, smaller, right? So most of the people, just by thinking it's not a big problem, they try to avoid it, right? They try to hold it, they try to postpone it, right? And they think that okay, I will do this thing or I will fix this thing in future, but later this problem they see turn out to be a bigger one, right? So if you face any problem, even if it is a little one, so you have to fix it early, right? So that it won't get bigger. Just like if you are facing a disease, right? With a disease and you are not looking after it, so what will happen? Later this disease will turn out to be a big disease, okay, and that will create problem for you. So a stitch in time saves nine. So basically we can use these proverbs to make people understand that what is good or what is not. So it doesn't need any supportive statement. These proverbs doesn't need any supportive statement, right? If you can say see, if you see you can say a person, right? Or if you see you can say anyone, right? If you see anyone or who they are, you can say just neglecting your words or who they are behaving in a very awkward way. So they will not understand simple things, right? So you have to use this type of proverbs in order to make the people understand that that is the wisdom and that is the truth of the life, right? Which you are neglecting. Next is look before you leap. Look before you leap means think carefully before acting. Most of the people they just act under impulse, right? Uh, but they don't think the after consequence which they have to face, right? Like suppose you get angry on something, right? And before thinking who you are in front of, right? And how many people are there around you, right? Or what will be the consequence if you do something. So that is the main reason, right? So that is why we whatever we are going to act, we have to be very careful, right? We don't have to be too impulsive, acting too fast about things, right? If like because what happens most of the time, it also spoils the relationship, right? Like if someone you can say taunts you or someone he tells or cracks a joke on you, right? Or maybe he didn't mean it, but you without thinking anything, if you just try to act right in such a way, so what will happen, right? It will actually spoil the relationship of yours with that person, right? So look before you leap. That means if any action you are going to do, right? So don't do it in a hurry, right? Or just you have to think or overthink about it, rethink about it. That whatever if I do this thing, so what will be the consequence I have to face later, right? If I have to answer or not, right? Like suppose most of the students, what happened that they get angry and they start into fight, right? And later they get rusticated, they have to explain to their parents, they have to pay the fine, right? So we often see these thing also in sports, right? Some players they act in impulse, right? And they just do things which they have to pay later. So we have to be very intelligent in that case. That look before you leap means think before acting, right? No need to do things in rush. Okay. So when you see someone who is just acting right in rush, who always takes rush decision, so you can use this statement right to that person that look before you leap. Next is don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge a book by its cover means sometimes we actually don't know the person very well, right? Without knowing that person well, we try to make a perception of that person in our mind that how will that person be, right? Most of the times we think that, okay, look wise he's not good, right? So maybe he will not likely to have any quality, so that is the wrong thing we do, right? Because if you're just going for the appearance, right? Most of the people they are attracted by their appearance. And that's the mistake they do, right? That we don't have to go with the appearance. We just have to know their inner qualities, right? Maybe a person, look wise, he's not good, right? Or an ugly one, but he might have qualities, right? He might have qualities which we are avoiding, right? So that is what this proverb or statement means, that maybe the person you are thinking is not worthy, maybe the person you are neglecting, that might be the person, right? uh, that might be the person who can be a real help for you, right? So that is why it says appearance can be deceiving. Like, suppose you see someone who is very beautiful, right? And without knowing much about her, you just go in the relationship, and later it turns out that she was just, you can say, later she turns out to be a psychopath, right? Who was taking leverage of yours. So that is the thing, that if we go with the beauty, right? So there are chances we will get deceived. So before, you can say, going into the appearance, we just have to be very sure that how that person is, right? We have to be very, what can I say? We have to be, like, we have to know about that person, right? And it is not like we will go with the appearance, because if we just, like, if I give you an example of book, right? So there are many books, right? uh, there are many books. Some books, the cover, they will attract you most. Some books cover, they will not attract you, right? But the thing is, if you go with the attraction, right, then you will not get the interest in the content, right? Because you just have seen the cover of the books, right? The cover, it looks so attractive, that is why you bought it. But maybe the content seems to be so dull, right? That you don't feel like reading it anymore. But there are some books, and cover, if you go with the cover page, so it might not be the attractive, but if you go through the contents, it will really fascinate you, right? So don't judge a book by its cover. Means, if the cover of that book might be ugly, but the contents will seem, or the contents will prove to be very worthy for you, right? So the appearance can be deceiving. Before coming into any decision about anyone, you just know about the quality of the person. Like, you have to know the inside qualities, right? You just can't claim that how that thing or how that person is, right? From outside, right? Next is birds of a feather flock together. Birds of a feather flock together. Means similar people stick together, right? Like, I'm a politician, you are a politician, right? So there are chances we will likely to get engaged into a discussion, right? But, like, suppose you are an engineer and I am a doctor. So do you think our vibes will match? I don't think so, right? Because if a doctor finds a doctor, so their vibe will match. If a teacher finds a teacher, their vibe will match, right? But if just like, suppose I'm an English trainer, right? And if I come across another English trainer, so our vibes will match, right? We will talk about literature, things, right? Words, idioms. But if I come across any physics or maths teacher, right? So our vibes will not match, because maybe he will like talking about equations, right? Pythagoras, and I will be, you can say, stuck. You can say I will be stuck about the verbs, right? Idioms, grammars, right? Structures, etc., 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 right? So when I will give my, you can say, when I will give things, or when I will give my steps, he will be, he will find it boring, right? And when he will start describing about theories, these and that, I will not find it interesting, right? So that is what this proverb means. Birds of a feather flock together means, if the people, right, if they are in the same profession, so they are likely to get together, right? Or the people whose opinion are same, right? So they probably get engaged together, or they, um, you can say, they find each other very attractive, or they find each other interesting, right? Just like I am a book reader, and if I come across someone who is also a book reader, so what happens, right? Uh, our vibes will match, right? And we will start a conversation for hours and hours, right? So this is the thing. Next is, every cloud has a silver lining. Every cloud has a silver lining means, find good in bad situation. Find good in bad situation. Most of the time, what happens, that something bad happened with us, right? And just because of that bad things, we don't feel good. We think that why this thing happened with us, right? But if even if bad is happening with us, so there is also like maybe that bad can turn out to be a blessing, right? Later. Suppose I was doing a job and I was getting some amount, right? I lost that job. Now I'm regretting that why I left that job or what will happen, right? How will I survive? But I got another job, and by that job, I'm getting twice as much money as I was getting in my first job. So now I can say every cloud has a silver lining because if I was stuck in that job, I would never be able to get an opportunity to pay or to get such an amount, such a big amount, right? But just because I left this job, now I have so many opportunities. Now I got a bigger opportunity to go with, right? So this is the thing. Now you are with someone, right? You have been with someone for a very long time. Now, if that person left you, right? Now you are suffering inside that what will happen now, right? She has left me. Now where will I go? But after 2 years or after 6 months, you found someone uh, better than her, right? Now we can say every cloud has a silver lining, means that turns out to be a blessing. If she didn't go, you would not meet someone as better as her, right? So even if something bad is happening with you, try to find the good things. Good thing means why this thing happened with me. This thing happened with me, there is a good reason behind it, right? There must be a good reason behind it. This something bad is happening with me, there must be something good, right? I will see in future, right? So just have hopes, have your fingers crossed, because every cloud has a silver lining. Next is effort and perseverance. Okay, see, where there is a will, there is a way. This idiom I often use for my student. Where there is will, there is a way. Means, sometimes students come and they ask that, how will I learn English, right? I'm not able to get time for myself. Yet I want to learn, or whatever you are learning, right? I want to learn AI, right? I want to learn machine learning, but I'm not able to get time for myself. What should I do? I'm not able to do it. I'm not able to do that. But the thing is, actually, do you really want to learn or not? I ask this question. What do you really think? Do you really want to learn? Do you actually want to learn this language? Or do you actually want to learn that skill? You are saying you are not getting enough time, even though you want it, right? Like, suppose I want to talk to someone, or there is a person I want to talk to. If that person messages me, right? Or if that person calls me, so what will happen? I would definitely receive his or her call, right? Because I really want to talk to her. I like that person. On the other hand, if someone I don't like calls me, I would avoid him or her, right? Because I know I will get disturbed, right? He's very toxic. He's very toxic, so it's better I avoid her. So where there is will, there is a way. If you really want to, if you really want to talk to someone, you will get time. You will find time by hook or by crook to talk to that person. Or if you are not interested, then no matter how hard you try, right? You will not be able to do that. So even if you are going to learn English, right? So you have to ask yourself, do you really want to learn or not? And if your desire, or if your inside soul says, yes, I need this language, I want this language, I love this language, so you will manage anyhow, right? You will manage to give 1 hour of yourself to learn this language. So that is why I say, where there is will, there is a way. Means if you are dedicated to learn something, you will definitely learn, right? Determination finds solution. If you're really determined to do that or not, right? Otherwise, it's just, you can say, waste of time. Okay, because most of the people, they come across excuses. I don't have these. I'm not able to manage, right? So these are just excuses, right, to cover your weakness. Practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect, right? Now, suppose I would like to talk about those students who they join the coaching, but they don't really practice, right? They join English coachings, but they keep learning for 6 months, 1 year, 1.5 year, 2 year, right? Now, what's the you can say reason behind it? That even after spending too much time, they are not able to, you can say, have or see the growth which they look after, or which they look after to having, because they are not actually practicing, right? They are not mm, giving any efforts, right? Because unless and until they make an effort, he or she won't be able to do it. So practice makes perfect. Means if you practice, you will see yourself find better every day, right? Even by, you can say, 1%, 2%, 3%, right? Even it is going in slow, but still it is, you will see yourself in the line, in the queue of progress. But if you are not actually giving time to yourself, no matter how hard you try, you won't be able to make it up the way you thought, right? So the more you practice, the better you become, right? If you have, you can say, given 1 hour to learn something, right? So definitely, to some extent, you have found yourself improved. Tomorrow, if you give the same, you also, you can say, get improved by to some extent, right? And also the day after tomorrow, if you consecutively, you can say, keep doing this process for years, right? So you will see yourself become a master of that thing, right? Next is Rome wasn't built in a day. Rome wasn't built in a day means, if you are, you can say, if you really want to learn something, or if you're really trying hard to get something, so you have to give time, just like you have planted a plant, right? Now you are, you can say, watering that plant every day. But do you think it will grow on one day? No. It will take time, but it will definitely grow, right? If it's a big tree, of course. Big goals take time. Means if your goal is big, it will definitely take time, right? But if your goals are not big, then if you are going towards the small goal, so yeah, you will get it easily. But if you have dreamed something big, you just have to feed it every day, right? You have to nourish it every day, and you will see the results soon. So Rome wasn't built in a day. Means it will take time. You are going to build a Rome, like not that Rome, but your dream is as big as Rome, right? So of course, when you are going to build things as such as Rome, right? So it will take time, and you have to have patience. Better late than never means, if you are going to do something and if you think you are late, but still it is okay. And because what if you never do something, like, because even if you are late, but still you have an option to go for, still you have a chance to do, to be efficient at these things. So that is why I say better late than never, right? Even if you are late, don't think much, just start doing that thing, right? Otherwise later you will regret, right? I didn't learn, or I couldn't learn, right? If you are in your 40s, now you can say you have to leave, suppose, 30 or 40 more years, right? So you can't say that at the age of 40 I don't want to travel, I don't want to learn. Yes, of course, at the age of 40 you can travel, you can learn anything you want, right? Otherwise you can live the life as simple as you have, right? The way you are, all the as usual life which you have been living till now, right? So even if you are late, don't overthink, you just go for it, right? But still, I would say the ball is in your court. Now, the early bird catches the worm. Some people agree, some people don't, right? Act quickly for success, right? Means the people who they are, you can say, fond of waking up early in the morning, right? So for these people, we use this proverb: the early bird catches the worm. Means, like, basically, if you want something, so you have to act quickly, right? Like, suppose, and the early bird catches the worm means, like, suppose if a bird, right? who is going for hunting very early, so there are chances that he will get some insects or worm. But if it is going late, so what will happen? By the time it will arrive, he will see all the worms and the insects are gone, have become already the food of other birds, right? So that bird has to stay hungry, right? So the early bird catches the worm, right? That means whatever you're doing, you have to act quickly, because most of the people, they, uh, you can say, think a lot rather than taking an action. They don't act, and the people who they are the competitors, right, they start doing the action, right? So that is why the people or the person always slept behind. Also, you will see this thing in the school and the colleges, right? Most of the time what happens in the colleges, a student keeps delaying the study homeworks, that okay, I'll do it tomorrow, tomorrow, right? And eventually it becomes too much that he can't get it, right? So that is what I say, that you don't have to delay or procrastinate, right? If you really want something, if you really want to win, so you have to act fast. If you have to run fast to win the race, right? If you spend time thinking too much, so what will happen? You also have to remember that you also have other competitors, right? Next is time is money. Means you have to value your time. Once the time is gone, it will never come back. Just like Napoleon said, time and tide wait for no one. Okay. So, okay. Next is too many cooks spoil the broth. Too many cooks spoil the broth means like too many people cause problems. Like if you are making a plan and if there are three people you are including, it's okay. Eventually, you will come across one fixed destination to go for. But if there are many people, so everyone will give their own opinion. Eventually, uh, uh, you can say it will end up being nothing, right? So that is what the meaning of this idiom is, right? Too many cooks, all the broth means if too many cooks are, you can say, making the same soup, right? So there are chances that it will get spoiled, right? But if one cook is spoiling, like if one cook is making the soup, right? So it will be better, right? So that is why if you are making a plan and if you are involving too many people in that plan, so everyone will come with their different opinion, right? And you will not see the plan will be successful. Next, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Means don't rely on one plan. If you really want to be independent, if you really want to now set your mind free, if you really want to live with freedom, or if you really want to uh, live your life without with no overthinking, so you always have so many plans, you always have so many people, right? Because most of the time what happens, we trust on one people, and when the person is gone, right, we always trust on one person, and when the person is gone, so we just become hopeless that what will happen, right? So you always should have alternatives, that okay, Yossi is gone, I have so many, right? I don't care much. Just like that, if my this plan fails, okay, I have so many plans, I will work on that, right? So always have many plans and have many people for support, so that if one is gone, there are others, right, to handle you. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. Means don't assume success too early. If you have taken an initiative to do something, but you are not sure what will happen, right? Or you have not reached the destination yet, right? Maybe you have thought that, okay, if I do this, there are chances I will get successful. So you have to wait till you get the success, right? Otherwise, if you already think that, okay, I have started doing this thing, now I will become rich, now I can take a loan and buy a house, right? So what will happen? Even if you took a loan and buy a house, but what if you don't get the success? What if for some reason you fail? So you have to pay for it, right? You have to regret later. So unless and until you get the success, you just be patient, you wait till it comes. Okay? Honesty is the best policy. Like when a person is honest, right? He doesn't have to worry or think about future much, right? When you are an honest, your relationship with the people will be good, right? For lifetime. But if you're not honest with someone, so what will happen? Eventually, the truth will come out, and the trust of that person from you will be gone, right? So always speak the truth, right? Always follow, you can say, the honesty, right? Because eventually you know, right, for how long you can hide it, right? For and if you want to hide one question, you have to uh, tell many lies, right? So that is why it is said that just to hide one lie, you have to tell many lies. So it is best to not overthink, right? To not, you can say, fabricate any more lies. So it's better to speak the truth. Next is when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Means you have to act, right? According to the people you are living with. You have to act according to the city or the village you are living in, right? If you are going to a dhaba, right? And you are expecting, you can say, um, fancy things, right? So it's not there, they're gonna cook it for you, right? So you just have to be very, you just have to well aware of the things, right? You just have to well aware of the things that where I am, right? And I have to act accordingly because most of the time, what happens that I am somewhere, like I am living in uh, what can I say? Like I'm with my relatives, or I'm with my relatives, right? Uh, my parents have gone somewhere, and I'm with my relatives, right? I can't demand or I can't say that I want this thing, right? I want that, right? Maybe their custom or their rules, right? They have different rules they follow in their home, right? And if I just go, right, beyond that rule, so it will not be good, right? If I cross those limits, if I cross those rules, it will not be good, right? So that is why it says, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Like act according to the people you are living with. Act according to the you can say city you are living in, right? If you are like suppose you are going to a different country and their culture and their behavior, their food, right? Everything is different. So you have to act according to them, right? Yes, of course, when you're living at your own nation, right? So it is okay, you are habituated with that thing, right? But when you're visiting or traveling other countries, right? So there the customs will be very different, right? Now an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Means if you eat healthy food, so what will happen? You don't have to go to doctor, right? Or if you eat, you can say fast food, so you will just make your health bad, and unwillingly you have to go to the doctor. But if you want the doctor will stay away from you, you just have to eat an apple. Okay. So these are the 20 idioms which we have learned, and I hope that you have understood. Okay. You can also use this with someone you are close, right? Because idioms, as I said earlier, that it's you can say the wisdom and the truth of the life, right? And it comes with experience, the things which we have already witnessed, right? Or the things which is generally considered truth. Okay. So these are the proverbs, right? So these proverbs you can use it, okay, to the person you feel connected to your friends, right? Your bonding is good. Okay, guys, we have some courses. So if you want to join our courses, so there are two courses, right? You can go with one is personal English trainer. The price is 4,999, right? You can choose your own time, right? And you can take the lesson as per your level. Next is Elite Hustler batch. This is the communication batch, and here I work on your communication skills, conducting so many activities like ice breaking, situational, hypothetical, role play, debates, right, and many more activities, right. Also, we work on your vocabs here, right. So if you want to join it, you just have to call the given number, right, and we will help you join this course. So I hope you have enjoyed the session, and if you have enjoyed, please like, share, and subscribe. We will meet you on the next day with a different topic. Thank you.